Welcome back to Pop Culture Roll Call, the show where our hosts are watching The Magicians by only viewing the scenes that their character is present for. This is Season 3, Episode 6. Do you like teeth?
Welcome back to another episode of Pop Culture Roll Call. I'm your host, Mike, and we watch everything from the point of view of Penny. Left me as always.
It's Tasha, and I watch everything from the point of view of Margo.
In front of me as always.
It's Connor, watch everything from the point of view of, I guess, still High King Elliot.
And right here, right now.
It's Brian. I watch as Quentin. What do you mean you guess still?
Last week I was like the artist formerly known as because I wasn't in Fillory, and I thought I was like not going to be allowed back in, and I wasn't ruining my own kingdom. I'm just back now.
Listen, I'm going to give you some life advice. You cannot let your profession be your identity.
I'm going to give you some life advice. Actually, no, I'm not going to be on the opposite side of that argument.
Yeah.
Don't let your profession be your identity.
Welcome to the where Mike has a good life outlook.
I know. I really wanted to find a hole in that one and poke it, but I can't. I really can't.
Before we actually get into
got
life
business.
advice, yes,
Let's
let's
do
do
that.
business. So this Saturday,
This is your life advice.
January 31st at 1 p.m.,
Mm-hmm.
we are going to have a live stream, and it's going to be a live stream of the comic book.
Which I guess we're not going to be like reading it live. We're
That
gonna
would
have
be very funny.
We're going to have pre-read our scenes, and then we'll probably do like an episode record of it. Maybe we release the pages like the day of or something in case people want to look at them. We're kind of vibing this as we talk. The last time we did this was a special where we didn't do it live. We just sort of recorded. Things have changed, but we did have a new Discord patron who jumped in and was asking about whether or not we'd done the comics, and we hadn't thought about the comics in years, but people also seemed to be like, no, they did it once. And we were just chatting amongst ourselves and thought, it could be fun to jump back into. We've done the, vote on episodes and stuff. We figured let's try something else out. Let's do something
Maybe
new.
the episode will just be a little long or short depending on how we do it.
Mm-hmm.
It'll just be an episode.
To be clear, it's the last time, this is forever ago. It's
Yeah,
in the
it
main
was so long ago.
podcast feed, but it was Buffy season 8. They call it as the first kind of main section of the Dark Horse comics. We did like the first trade paperback in that one, obviously cut up in our format. We're going to be continuing from where we left off with that.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing, we don't know how many issues we're going to do off of it. If we're going to end up doing a whole nother trade.
See how much time I have to edit that.
Yeah, we got to go through and black out certain like shots and frames and text and stuff like that. But I don't know, join us. What time did we say?
1 p.m.
1 p.m.
Central
time on January 31st. We're going to have some of these questions sorted out, and we're going to have a gay old time. So come on down, and we'll read some comics and chat about them, especially if you've read them. I'm excited to jump back in. I kind of forgot they existed over the years since we did it last.
I feel like if it was a live stream of us just reading it, it would be really great. Like, just loop us
Yeah.
on, we'll just be like your fireplace movie. I was just like, we just watch comics in the background, nice little white noise.
Yeah.
It could be fun.
A little cozy activity
Yeah.
for this horrific weather.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm also letting you know I'm canceling Winter going forward. Sorry to Norway. I know it's kind of big there.
Winter is big in Norway.
Right? Aren't they all like, man, winters?
Are you saying this because it's cold outside?
I think
Yeah.
it's because of the saunas. I feel like you can't, not that you can't go into a sauna, but I feel
it's
like
not as
sauna
good.
is better in the winter. And
Yeah.
that's like a thing.
Like, ice cream's good, but ice cream's better when it's hot out.
Yeah.
And it's a nice, cool, refreshing treat.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, it's colder here than Antarctica, so
Sure.
that's fun.
What a time
Chicago's cold, y'all.
to exist.
It is a cold place. All right, let's get started.
I start before credits.
Me too.
Did I write down? I didn't write down when the credits
Wow.
happened. That's my fault. I'm pretty sure they probably started at the top.
That
if
fall
I didn't
off
write
from
them
Kingdom
down.
is pretty hard.
For
I
the first time I can really remember, I don't have anything before the credits.
Wow, it's you and me.
Maybe
and
we
me and
just-
you.
Wow. And maybe the king, I don't know. He's lost his duties. I have just one scene. It's pretty self-contained. We're at the Physical Kids cottage, and Julia and Alice are rummaging through a bunch of like old toys and knickknacks. And it feels like very much like vintage toys. We'll get to that. And Alice is like, what are we doing here? Like the last time I checked, we were looking for a spell and not starting an eBay resale shop. And Julia shares a story about, it's kind of like a myth, like an urban legend about an electrical transfer of like spell energy that Marina used to steal magic from some poor fawn. And people still talk about it. And And so she's like, wait, you want us to like reverse engineer a hedge witch urban legend using kid toys? And in defense, she's like, well, aluminum wiring's pretty scant since the 90s, so unless you have a better idea. So the only thing that still was made with quality was 90s kids toys. So we do a little time jump.
Wait, aluminum wiring?
I was trying to think of the same thing.
I guess that's a spell component.
It doesn't seem like quality, though.
Yeah, I feel like
Aluminum's not the best conductor.
Yeah, I think copper's significantly better.
Yeah.
For magic or electricity?
Maybe for magic, but like...
Exactly.
Okay.
Fine.
Fucking magical like electricians, like that's not going to be a good transferring thing for your mana. We cut forward, and they're trying to cast a spell, and nothing's happening. And then suddenly, and they kind of set this up in the first shot, like rummaging through things. There was, the dancing bass,
The Billy
big mouth
Basses?
Billy Basses.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
No,
This
wrong
one-
That's Michigan J. Frog.
I just figured that Billy Bass would sing that song.
No, he sings.
Oh, do they only sing
Don't
one
worry,
song?
be happy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
That sounds about
in
right.
this version, so this thing starts coming to life, and it's singing "I Will Survive." Fantastic song, really good bop. And
Isn't that the song that plays over the end credits in this episode?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me know where I
Good
stand.
shout.
And so that starts going off, and Alice gets up, runs over, grabs the key, and sees me. And apparently I've been trying to warn them for like an hour to not do this spell, and being the fish button was the first thing in this entire room that's worked.
Okay.
And like, warn us about what? And he's like, this spell. I've seen people do this. A couple months back, on a book stealing job, I saw some magically starved idiots try to do this transfer spell, and by the end of it, they were all on fire. So trust me, Fogg was right. This is a bad idea. And Julia's like, wait a minute, did you just say Fogg was right? And then the scene cuts would be going, So I don't know if that's me not wanting to admit Fogg was right about something, or me giving up something about Fogg still being a player. I don't know if it's a joke or story.
Okay.
Fair enough. Keep an eye on Fogg.
All right. Before the credits, I'm walking down the hallway with my mother-in-law.
Your mother?
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you're the Stone Queen. The Queen of Stone?
Yeah.
Whatever
And
they call her.
like, she's talking to me about. I basically am like, listen, I don't want to hear this if this is about the consummation.
Yeah.
This is not happening. And no, what she actually wants to talk about is the fact that Tick is scraping things off of the stone.
Mm-hmm.
Margo accurately, smartly is like, I have no idea what you're talking about. He was like literally cleaning up some paint. I think somebody was like making this joke last week about what he was doing, and that is what she says. The Stone Queen's like, you can trust me. Like, I understand that my son murdering like soured both of these things. I'm not happy about it either. Like, and I have a weapon that we can use. Like, she's trying to convince me that like she is also working on and developing this weapon to kill the fairy queen. But Margo doesn't seem to be 100% buying it, and she's definitely not letting her know that like she agrees with anything that she's saying. But as they're finishing this conversation, the doors open into this room, and that is when her son is sitting there waiting for me on the bed. She did trick me to come here to consummate with her son, and her and the guards are closing the door, even though Margo is like literally like yelling for her own guards, trying to get them to not close the door. She is unsuccessful, and as it fades to black, you can just hear her pounding on the door as we go into credits.
Oh, what a fun way to kick into credits.
Yep. Mind slut.
Why did we start doing that?
I think because that's just what we were.
I think every
fair enough.
good bit.
I just couldn't remember if
it
there
was
was
just that it started with Chris Angel Mind Freak.
Oh, that's
And
what
then,
it was. I
but we're
lost.
talking about how everybody in this show is slutty.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Not saying wrong.
I would say a
Great.
good bit. There is
Parentheses
no
positive,
history
if
of
that
it. Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah, there is some history, but it got lost, and we started
Yeah, no.
we
Just like
started
every credits
evolving
bit.
organically.
Why did we have wind chimes that one season?
Because we thought we heard chimes one time. I don't know. We're so smart. SMRT. Great. So let's jump back in. Elliot has his first scene where he's talking to the fairy queen in the throne room, and her hands, and this kind of comes into play later, but it's the first time that I've seen it. And I'm curious how long this has been the arc that we go on, Margo and Elliot, where what we learn about the fairies. I'm curious how much of this was set up that I missed, and how much of it is like they needed something and they kind of wrote it in the final hour. Has anybody else ever noticed the fairies being aggressively like lotioned
I haven't seen the fairies, so
or like oiled up?
This is going to be very relevant.
It is going to be very relevant.
But we did talk about her being in the bath all the time.
But bath is like the opposite of moisturizing.
That is definitely not how the show is interpreting.
wait, water's moisturizing?
It kind of is, but also like soap and water does not necessarily moisturize your skin, especially hot
we don't-
water.
Said there's soap.
Yeah, we don't know what's in that water.
Yeah.
It's true. Maybe there's a bunch of like oil and shit in the water, but
Very possible.
This is the first time where like her arms
Water's
and
not
hand.
wet?
Water's wet. Wet is not moisture. Wet is moisture.
Whoa.
Why am I the one who has to explain to people how
Hot
skincare
fucking
works?
takes.
Just water on your skin. does
Please
not-
explain how wet doesn't mean moisture.
All right, everybody.
Okay, let's move
Science
on.
hour with Colin.
Yeah. So whenever your hands are dry, is the reason you don't just run them under the tap and then move on with your day. That is not how you moisturize your hands. Shit. I know. That's crazy. Anyway, her hands, she has like one attendant per arm, and they are just like oil, just sort of like rubbing, massaging like oil and lotion into her arms while she's having this conversation with Elliot, which I thought was very strange, but then becomes extremely relevant later.
Okay.
So
I can't wait to see how.
yeah,
Oh,
it's pretty.
we'll get there.
Yeah, it's pretty across the board, honestly. And this is where I find out. Elliot finds out that Margo is currently locked in the dungeon along with her 15-year-old like queen consort or whatever. However,
that how
you
young he
define
is? Do we
that.
get an age?
Yes.
How old is
15.
he? 15?
15. Exactly
Yikes.
15.
I think I said 16-ish. Like I guessed
Yeah,
that, and that
nailed
was
it.
accurate.
So yeah, she's down there and she won't consummate the marriage. And this is like a big thorn in the Fairy Queen's side for the obvious reasons of like her and the Stone Queen have something going on in the background that we don't know about. It's part of their deal. And we also get the sense that like through some like minor dialogue here, we get kind of the sense that the Fairy Queen doesn't fully trust or like the Queen of Stone.
Yeah.
And it sounds like from your conversation in the hallway with the Queen of Stone, she doesn't fully trust or like the Fairy Queen. Now, whether or not they actually are buddy-buddy and they're just trying to like play the game on both sides
Is a different
I don't
thing.
know.
Yeah.
But she's like, I also don't love the Stone Queen being here. I didn't want the murder to happen. Like, this isn't going according to plan. But I do need Margo to consummate the marriage with the prince of the Stone Kingdom.
The
or
fairy
whatever.
says, Queen says that?
Yes. The
Okay.
Fairy Queen is like, I want Margo to do that. I need Margo to do that. Margo needs to like treat this seriously. And Elliot's like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like we're talking a little bit about the fact that I left my like wife and kids like quote out on the sea. So I don't think she knows that they're back on Earth.
Okay.
Basically, so she thinks they're like lost at sea.
Yeah.
And
You had a shot of them like just doing Earth shit, right?
I did not get a shot
what
of
was
them.
the-
I just
No, we
said,
just knew that they
mentioned-
went to go do that. We were joking
Yeah.
about
we
maybe
just
they had
mentioned
some scenes.
Yeah, that
was
they're
a
like
joke.
off in the city.
You can't
Yeah.
take our just guessing at things as what
As
happened.
written.
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure that we explicitly said they're off Crocodile Dundeeing or something.
Yeah,
That's canon now.
uh-huh. They're swinging from lampposts and threatening people with Bowie knives on the subway. So Elliot's like, you know what? I'm actually, rather than like help getting Margo to consummate the marriage with the 15-year-old, I'm going to go try and like find my wife and daughter. I think that's pretty important. And the Fairy Queen stops me and she's like, no, what you need to do is go convince Margo however you need to do this. And Elliot's like, what if I like, he's like, I don't know. Margo doesn't really deal with like power plays. Like,
Yeah.
Margo, like me just trying to strong arm Margo into having sex with a 15-year-old is not going to work.
No.
Like, it isn't going to work.
I would
And
hope it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
I would hope as well. And I think Elliot is like, no, I think Elliot knows the Fairy Queen also knows
that
this
that's
isn't
not
going to
gonna
happen.
work. Yeah.
But the Fairy Queen is hoping that Margo and Elliot's relationship means that Elliot knows enough about her to like manipulate her into making that happen. And Elliot's like, well, I'm not going to manipulate her into statutory rape. And the Fairy Queen's like, the prince is not a statue. And he's like, never mind. Which I thought was pretty funny because he's the Queen of Stone or like the Prince of Stone. So like the statutory rape.
That's they're
Yeah.
trying to,
It wasn't just like one. It was like two layers of a bit, which I
Yeah.
thought was pretty funny. Anyway,
As far as rape jokes go, it's
one of them.
the worst one I've ever heard.
Which is a bar in hell, I think.
This was all better when I thought you said constipate and not consummate. I'm like, she's got to help him with some
gotta
bowel
help
movements.
a little bit.
That is.
So Elliot, he says, "What if I refuse?" And the fairy queen like holds up her little cage that used to have Margo's eye on her wrist, like her little wristband, which is now empty. And she's like, "I've been looking for some new bits to put in here." And Elliot's like, "Well, I don't." And she's like, "Mini bits." And just kind of like looks at Elliot like menacingly, like basically do this or I'm gonna chop you up into little pieces.
Oh, I thought he was gonna take his balls.
Which I think is maybe the thing, but like chop him up. Like
Sure.
you're gonna get a hatchet job
Specifically
here.
part of him.
Yes, exactly. She doesn't go into too many details.
Yeah.
And Elliot is like, I'll see what I can do. But, you get the sense that Elliot is not actively working with the fairy queen
The
here.
fairy queen can't force Margo to do it. What is like Elliot is not gonna probably be that successful.
No.
But
And my next scene is talking with Quentin in the secret hallway.
All right. Maybe we just do that to get my episode launched off.
Sure.
Literally.
Is that literally the first episode?
That's my first scene I have.
Okay, I'm not sure how you get here, but you're dressed as a palace guard.
Yes, I am.
And we're hanging out in that secret hallway.
And the palace guard costume is so basically the fairy queen doesn't know that there's another high king or another king or whatever that she can manipulate in the castle.
Right.
I just would like you to know that you were with us at the end of the last episode in Fillory. Like that's
'cause you came
how
through
Elliot, because we all came
Yeah.
together after we were talking. So yeah, you've been here this whole time.
Yeah.
So that's how you got here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that.
Right, but I'm leaving already, so
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
off because we're beating up about like what the next key.
Oh, I thought
West
you were
is.
like gonna stay and help. Never mind.
No, I take out the book with with the key
map,
information.
yep.
Obviously this new chapter is basically talking about this. In the ocean of Fillory, there's an area where it's perfectly or like permanently nighttime, known as the Abyss. The key is there. So I gotta go sail to the Abyss.
Yep.
I
permanently
say
night.
we originally, and
Yeah.
as Elliot's like,
I can't,
maybe just you.
I can't really do that. I got a lot going on.
Yeah, which is
here.
totally fair.
Which is totally fair. And I do think this is kind of like a lasting impression from the last episode where like Quentin and Elliot remembered the like long life together. There's very much more of like an affectionate air.
There's like
between
a
them.
hug where Quentin ends up putting like his head on Elliot's chest, and Elliot gives him a forehead kiss. You say I can take what's his name,
Bennington or something.
Benedict. I have written my notes.
Something like that.
He's like the map maker guy.
Oh yeah.
that's the map
That's the
maker.
guy that pretended to be Elliot in the boat episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
He's
And
around.
This is the first time I'm seeing him.
Yeah.
And
that tracks.
Quentin doesn't like, that's not. He's like, I was really looking forward to going on a boat quest with you, Elliot. And I was like, everyone should be looking forward to going on a boat quest with me. But unfortunately, I cannot come with you on this one. So we send you off, you fold up your map, and you sort of dip. And I got to go do the rest of my stuff here in Fillory.
The Abyss sounds like nice. That's probably a nice
Perpetual
place.
night in a obfuscated like section of a deserted ocean.
Abyss has no like foreboding intention behind it.
Nothing spooky.
No.
No.
Area that's permanently like pitch black. No.
Isn't that what they called like the McDonald's playpen for a long time?
Yeah.
The McDonald's Abyss.
Sponsored by James Cameron.
James Cameron sponsors the McDonald's Abyss. What a bunch of kids in hyperbaric chambers.
But walking through the balls.
I've never seen the Abyss, so any reference that you make is going right over my head.
It was a good one.
It is a
That
good
was a
one.
good one.
It's one
Yeah.
of them good ones.
All right. Let's just back to Margo.
Yeah, what are you up to?
I am begging on there's like a grated window, and I am trying to beat down so I can escape out the window. And this is when I don't know what to call this scary, gross child.
Does he have a name? Did we ever name this kid?
He definitely has a name.
Okay. Fair
And
enough.
it's a good one.
she's name blind when it comes to children.
I just like
Timmy,
that
Tommy.
feels like none of my business.
I don't.
Cheeky.
We just keep calling him like the Prince of the Stone Kingdom or like
Yeah,
the
the
child
Creep Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Creep Prince.
Yeah. So basically, he is like trying to be like, he's so gross. I can't even say it. Like he's making references to like wanting to touch my peaks And
he's trying to be sexy, but he's a child.
correct.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it makes,
awful sentence.
and it makes
That's
me
what's
ill.
happening.
No.
It makes me like physically
trying
ill.
to be sexy, but he's a child. Can't wait to climb those peaks. Drinks Mountain Dew Code Red.
And so Margo is like, listen, bud, that's not happening. And also, you need sex ed and not like whatever
Sex.
this is going on.
You need
And
more ed, less sex.
Yeah. Why don't we go
And-
get you let's go get you an anatomically correct diagram and let's have a
He
conversation.
can consummate with like one of those like sex ed dummies, right?
I don't think that's how. Wait, what was your sex ed like?
I don't know.
funny you should mention diagrams and sex ed, because though he's like confused, he doesn't understand what that is. Margo has an idea. She comes back with like a giant basically a gynecological book. Like it's like a gynae book, and there's just like illustrations of like
to
women's
scare him.
bodies, and she's taught literally that is what's happening.
I mean, you show this 15-year-old one video of a childbirth.
She says uteruses are gross. They are constantly like spraying blood, a thing that hers is actively doing right now. And he's like, I like blood. And she's like, they also explode when they birth babies. And she's like, and then this kid is not being put off, which is worse.
Yeah.
And she's just like, did I mention the teeth? And
Oh,
then that's the
where
end
the
of the
teeth come
scene.
into. Okay.
Classic documentary. Teeth.
It's pretty.
Wait. We all know of this movie,
Oh, we
right?
know
Yes,
Okay.
we do.
Okay.
But like that, she's trying to scare this kid because he's 15
And it's
and
not working.
stupid. It's not working exactly, but he did get nervous when she brought up the teeth.
Okay.
But I don't think he's bought it quite yet.
Got it.
And my next scene, I'm in the carriage with you, so let me know when that
All
happens.
right. So Elliot has a little scene here where I'm just walking down a hallway, and like one of the, I forget the name of the kingdom from Princess and them Idri. It
that's
doesn't matter.
not happening.
One of the like people of that kingdom, it looks like, or maybe it's one of the palace guards. I couldn't quite tell. Anyway, somebody like walks up and hands Elliot a note. And Elliot unfolds the note, and it is from Princess of Loria. And I was like, wait, didn't we
so
have...
Loria?
Oh, hey, look at that. It's crazy how memory works. I remembered. I just always called him that as a name. I didn't consider where he's from.
I love that.
That's
Anyway,
not the name of the kingdom. Anyway, this guy from Loria.
we're going through it, guys.
I've got such toddler brain. Oh, man. Stay in school. Less drugs, less toddlers, more memory games on your phone.
Yep.
All right, everybody. So Princess of wherever the fuck has apparently left the prison, because Elliot's like, wait, don't we have him in the dungeon? Like last I checked, he was in the dungeon, and we're like, because we thought he killed
Yeah,
Lunk,
yeah.
Lunk's the fake boyfriend from our flashback. Whatever
Mikhail.
the
no.
hot prince.
Yeah.
The hot prince died.
Prince Eric, yeah.
Prince Eric, yeah. We remember his, but not his son.
That's
or
not his actual
not his
name, by the way.
brother. Yeah. Anyway, so we let him go though because he was not guilty, and Elliot's like, oh yeah, I guess we shouldn't keep people in the dungeon who didn't do it. So and I'm like reading the note, and I'm like, oh, and we don't get any indication of what I hear, but
Okay.
we'll learn more.
We'll talk about it
that
later, yeah.
Mike, what are you all up to on the surface world / Quentin, I guess, because I don't see either of you.
Yeah, I got my whole little episode here.
All right.
I got like 3 scenes left.
I got like a half dozen.
All right.
Maybe a regular dozen.
Let's let Quentin do a couple here.
Yeah,
Why
how
don't
about
you
you
knock
just
a few
burn
out?
through this, Bry?
Yeah, so I'm on like a small to medium-sized boat. I see probably 2, maybe 3 other kind of
I bet you this is
Fomorians
the
on this
same
boat.
boat.
It probably
yeah,
is.
probably.
It seems like it's like TARDIS-esque. The inside seems way bigger than
I
the
agree.
Then
outside.
it is the
Yes.
same boat because
Yeah.
yes, the they actually called that. It's like it is a magical sentient boat, and it
Yeah.
has a like the inside is specifically a TARDIS-y.
Okay.
They call it out. I think they might legitimately make a Doctor Who reference at one point that I missed, but yes, that is called out.
Okay. So, but maybe there's more people then if the boat's bigger than I thought. Anyways, I'm like just doing like boat cosplay, like swinging a sword around and standing on the front of it, like looking out through a spyglass or whatever.
Full blown LARPing.
and we're like kind of approaching, like on the horizon you see just like half of it just gets pitch black. Pretty cool shot, but like we're basically approaching the abyss. I'm talking to Benedict, and he's like lighting all these candles and torches and lanterns and stuff like that. He's calling me like sire, I guess, because I'm a king, I guess.
You
I don't
are.
know. I thought this was weird, but everybody else seems to think it's normal. So
A little bit of an absentee king, in my opinion, but hey,
whatever.
we've been here doing the thing for a while.
Anyways, we're entering the abyss, and we hear people, like somebody calling for help. It's like, is that a ship? Help, help, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So we bring this person aboard, and he guesses who it is.
Oh, and he guesses who it is. Who
No.
would be
It's
in the...
Felicia Day.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a character in the show.
Oh.
It is Felicia Day.
Just randomly, Felicia Day is on the board. I will refer to her in my notes as Felicia Day. I think her name is Poppy or something. I've already forgotten it.
Felicia Day showing up as a B character in a nerdy television show.
Yeah.
No way.
In
Yeah.
a show that we're doing.
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah.
Weird how that
And not
works
in a bad way.
every time.
I'm never going to turn down some Felicia Day.
Did Felicia Day do a voice in like Gravity Falls? Because that seems like something
Almost,
she would
definitely,
do.
right?
She had
She
to
was
have
in
been somewhere in
Supernatural.
there.
Great in
Okay.
Supernatural.
We
Anyway,
don't
we
need to
can't
list
talk
her
about
entire
Felicia.
discography or
But
whatever.
anyways,
filmography.
Filmography.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
The magician's version of Felicia Day is still Felicia Day-esque in mannerisms, but
Yeah.
she's a draconologist, a postgraduate fellow, and a
That only
field
studies
researcher.
Drake's discography?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it's a whole episode about pedophilia, it turns out.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, that does work with our A plot.
That is, yes,
that does.
that's the
Drake,
joke.
Drake is relevant.
She goes to shake my hand, and I notice like on her sleeve is like a logo, which is the Break Bills logo. So I'm like, oh, you're from Break Bills? And so it kind of cuts to us like having a drink or whatever. I'm filling her in. She's been stuck in the abyss for way too long. Apparently she came with some other students in the spring break class of 2016, she says. She starts like just taking her wet clothes off like in front of me, and I kind of turn around and, be respectful. And I'm like, oh, so like, do you know? And then she says, if the next two words out of your mouth are Josh and Hoberman, we just became best friends. So,
Okay.
Everyone loves Josh.
God. Legend.
What a legend.
I feel like Josh is going to be so important. Anyway.
He might
What if
already
he's
be
what
so.
if he's the big bad?
I
Like the
don't know.
main, like,
I don't think so.
It'd be a wild turn.
That would be like,
I feel like
it
he's
would
more
come out of
comic relief.
nowhere.
than
I think I like the idea that he's just like the super sick dude living a super sick life that doesn't hang out with us because we're losers.
Yes, I think that's more likely.
his name extends beyond legend.
He's
Yeah.
just like off Forrest Gumping somewhere.
Yeah.
and- yeah. Anyways, I'm filling her in. Like, so she wants, she's like, oh, give me a drink. I'll tell you the whole story or whatever about how she ended up on this raft. Cut to us having a drink. She was doing field work at Break Bills. She shipwrecked off the coast of the Truth Waters, whatever that means.
By Libe.
The shipwreck was 3 weeks ago, and she's been on the raft the whole time, right? She noticed that magic went out, has no idea why, and she's like, oh, I hope somebody's fixing it. I'm like, well, I'm on a quest, and start telling her about like the golden keys.
Shut up. Oh my God.
And she's like, golden keys like this, and pulls out a golden key.
Oh.
So you know how like we're saying every episode is gonna have like one key in it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the key.
Here's the
It's
key.
gonna be. I'm just kidding. This one does take more than one episode. You'll
Oh.
find out why later. She like puts the key down on the table. She said she stole it from a random island that was like a dragon's breeding ground. And then she starts like nerding about like how, oh, there's only 2 breeds of dragon that actually like hoard treasure, and build nests out of it. And she's like, whatever. But anyway, she says she can like feel this energy coming off the key, and the dragons were horny and distracted, and so she just took the key from their treasure lair because she is a person of questionable ethics. Clearly won't come up again later, right?
Not a chance.
When the
being honest
person that
about
you
it.
just rescued off a ship says that they have questionable ethics, maybe believe them. But yeah,
Throw 'em
she's
back in the water.
She's basically like, "Oh, here's the key if you want it," and I'm just like, Quentin's like, "Oh, sweet, thank God!" Like I thought this was gonna be harder or whatever. He's like, "Do you know what the key does? Because like each one does kind of a unique
Don't
thing."
touch that key.
And she's like, I don't know, maybe you can figure it out, and like slides it closer,
Oh,
like
God.
very slightly closer. It's subtle,
Yeah.
but it's there. And in my notes, I'm like, "Oh, this is a trap. Cool."
It's the trap key.
And I'm like, well, cheers to figuring it out. And we like kind of, whatever. And basically, I get drunk and pass out.
Okay.
So my next scene is waking up from that.
Okay. We are back at the physical kid's cottage. And they are trying the spell again, which I am not happy about. And I keep trying to tell them they're going to kill themselves. And then our old pal Hyman shows up.
What up?
And he's just like, you're right, they're going to kill themselves. Just out of like stage right, just starts injecting himself. And I'm like, don't you have to a shower to go haunt? And he's like, well, no one's showering right now except Fog, and he's asleep. Jesus, he needs sleep.
He's asleep in the shower?
Or that apparently?
I would say he's showering right now and he's asleep.
I don't get that.
Okay. Fair enough.
And long story short, I'm watching them try the spell again, and it's like I can't watch this. I can't watch them try to kill themselves. Right. And Hyman's like, you know what? This is why I love you, Penny. You act like you don't care, but really you care the most in the whole story. And I'm like, yeah, then why is everyone acting like I'm not part of the story anymore? And that's when he's like, well, maybe it's time to just like leave, like blow out of this popsicle stand. He's like, go find a story to watch that doesn't make you so fucking depressed. And then there's some like light flickering, and they have like this contraption. Also, I forgot to mention, it has a Furby face on the contraption.
That's important.
Like an actual,
like
because they're doing
made
90s
of toys
kids or
Okay.
80s
and they
kids
have
toys.
like wires running from it like up to like their temples and like body, and lights start to flicker, and it seems like it worked.
Okay.
And that scene,
Nobody catches on fire.
no one catches on fire.
Cool. What are we up to? You want to jump back to
The
us in
carriage?
the carriage? Oh, do the carriage scene, and then we'll jump back and get a couple from Quentin.
Yeah, so we're in the carriage, and I
Oh,
don't...
sorry. I have one little thing before the carriage.
That's what I
I just scrolled up a second. So I go back to the throne room with the queen. And so I just got that note from about Princess leaving, and I read it. And then I go to the queen, and I'm like, hey, I went down and talked to Margo, which I obviously didn't. And the reason why they're not consummating their marriage is because you locked Margo up in a dungeon. And I was like, humans don't breed in captivity. Like, talking about them like we're like exotic animals at a zoo. Like, the thing that the stone prince, I guess we'll call him, and Margo need is like a honeymoon. Go somewhere romantic, like get away for a little while, like change of scenery. This is obviously a place where like a lot of drama happened. Like, there's a lot of baggage here. So let's get him out. Let's take him out on the road. And he's like, I know this little forest a couple miles north of here, and it's just the whole forest is growing with natural aphrodisiacs. It's a perfect place to go if you want two people to consummate their marriage, especially if one's not super stoked about it. And the queen's like, fine, like, go ahead, that sounds good, but if you fail, I will take your spleen. And I was like, my spleen? She's like, the whole spleen. And I was like, okay, and kind of like turn around and head out. And then I'm on the carriage with Prince and Margo.
Yeah, the prince is like talking about, oh, so we're gonna have sex in the carriage or
afterwards,
outside,
or...
and I grab him by the face, and I am never having sex with you, you fetus.
And Elliot tries to like break the tension. He's like, hey, toast to the happy couple. And I like hand wine to both like the prince and Margo.
Margo is like, I'm not drinking this. She's like, she's just upset. She's like, she's like, I asked you to fix this. Like, I'm just straight up being like, what are we? I did not expect you to put me here and we all start drinking and you're trying to encourage me to sleep with the fetus.
Cheers, Margo. And you're like, I'm not happy. And I was like, everybody should cheers, Margo.
Did you drug it?
We drink, and like a couple of seconds into the conversation from there, the prince like falls over immediately.
You probably gave an adult dose to a child, so it's extra strong.
he's just done. Yeah.
And Elliot is like, I can't believe you didn't believe in me. Like, he's offended that I did expect this, and I agree.
Yeah.
Actually, if I was like, friend, save me from this like, attack basically going on, and I'm like, yeah, I should probably have expected that to be drugged.
Isolate us in a room where it's just the three of us. Like, very clearly I was trying to get us into an advantageous situation. But yeah, so I, at this point, after we kind of like a little bit of a, kerfuffle about who knew what, we sort of bring up the fact that the reason why we're going to the north is not to go to the aphrodisiac forest to get them to consummate their marriage, but because the note that Prince S had left said that he was on his way back to where the fuck, Loria. He was on his way back to Loria, and he passed by the northern forest and saw that there was some just wild shit going on there, some Chernobyl level stuff, like frogs with 3 eyes and like rivers that are like running different colors and backwards and like trees, like something. It seems like it is polluted.
Yeah, the
like,
fairies are doing
polluted.
something really weird, and they like took all the people who were living there out of that region, like displaced them, and will not let another human in there.
Yeah,
So we're gonna go check it out.
like poisoning that ecosystem.
And so in order to do that, we had to like knock this kid out. I actually for a second thought we killed the kid, but then I think that was probably too far for this TV show, so they did not. He's just asleep.
Not a murdered kid. We have a little bit of like a funny like tiff here where like Margo is lamenting the fact that like you were really kind of looking forward to being really mad at me so that we could make up and then be friends again, because that's kind of our like the cycle of our relationship.
Yeah.
That we like get frustrated with each other and then we make up and then things go back to normal, and we're just kind of like sitting there and have a little bit of a back and forth that we don't need to go into completely about how like our relationship hasn't been the old normal for a while now.
Yeah, and it's also like lamenting the fact that we used to be cool and like didn't care about anything, and now we are full of responsibility, and like it's changed who we are as people, and it's also changed our relationship, which we don't particularly love.
That's just how being an adult works.
Yeah, well, they decide that once we save Fillory, we're gonna go back and we're gonna go be ourselves again.
Yeah.
We're not doing any more of this.
You could always go back to college with you and your adult friends.
That always
Yeah.
works.
Nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed. I can still drink like I used to.
Yeah. I could stay up all night, all the way to 11.
You know, I should have picked up on that. I did not at the time. I was like, yeah, I would also want to go back and be cool and not carry.
Right. I also wish I didn't have bills to pay.
Everyone loves the 35-year-old guy at the frat party with all the cool college kids.
Could someone help me do a keg stand? I got a bad lower back
The thing
pain.
is that they're still in college, though. I understand that the show this is the metaphor.
Yeah, it's a
So
different
yes, I understand.
We're old people. There's like legitimately like almost a third wall breaking thing where Elliot's like, yeah, what's changed is now we have depth and character.
Yes,
like,
that was very funny.
Where this isn't season 1 anymore. We weren't just mega bitches. We're
Yes.
like different.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what. But we're gonna go back. We're committed.
And
I want to be a vapid, like, one-dimensional mega bitch.
Exactly.
same.
Literal same.
So the carriage kind of stops. A little question here: who the fuck's driving the carriage?
I assume it's a magic carriage.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe
but
it's a magic
there's no
carriage?
magic.
But there's no magic.
Yeah.
Which I guess the fairies
There are
have magic.
talking animals. Maybe just
There
told
is
the horses
a
to
horse that is drawing the carriage.
Okay, which
So-
I just like.
Hey, Robert.
Yeah.
I just
we
assumed
can't.
that
We have talked to horses.
Okay,
I
that's
think,
fair.
So,
I was
yeah.
gonna say I assumed
Giddy.
that the
Wasn't there-
fairy queen would have been like in charge of assigning the carriage driver, and we're drugging the prince and then getting out where we shouldn't. And I was like, someone's gonna report something, right?
Go.
Yeah.
Wasn't there some sort of like autonomous carriage thing in when we first got to Fillory that we were
Oh,
able
the
to take?
king carriage, right?
Yeah.
That went
Oh,
around.
the King's Road carriage.
Yeah,
maybe
maybe
that's what it is. Could be.
There was some, we had to lay it off.
Well,
Yeah.
we get out, and instead of like this beautiful, cool forest, it's not there. It's not there. There's actually instead all of these mushrooms,
just as far as the eye can see,
huge,
kind of like a
huge.
poppy field,
If you
like
think-
a
yes.
California poppy
like
field.
like in Wizard of Oz,
Yeah.
where you just see like the poppies, like,
But gross.
but like mushrooms.
but mushrooms.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we're, kind of confused at what's going on here. There's obviously some fairy guards. They're kind of walking around. They don't see us. We're kind of parked up in the woods.
It was like, that was really weird because just like the way that shot was, I was like, wait, do they know we're here?
I agree.
I was like, that was really weird blocking, but I think we're supposed to believe they do not see us.
There was a bunch of stuff that I would agree. This whole thing is like, the shot is like really close on the guards, indicating that they're very close by. And then the carriage like feels like it should have somebody driving. I was like, it just seems like a convenient scene where
Yeah.
like we're trying to impart information and they kind of didn't think about too many of the details.
Yeah, it's not that important.
It's
I
not
guess,
that
but-
important. But we call out that like it seems like they are fucking with the ecosystem insofar as this far north in Fillory should be dry and it should be cold, and it is neither of those things. It is hot and it is humid and it is full
wet.
of mushrooms and
Yeah.
it's wet, like always wet. And this is completely strange, and it's just kind of like, it's kind of freaky. And this is where we call out kind of like we had both seen it, and this is an imparted knowledge thing, is that the fairies always seem to be so moist. Like
Yeah.
it seems like they're afraid of drying out, which is again the like getting oiled up in the throne room. Though I haven't noticed a ton of that until this episode. Maybe we just missed some of it. But
yeah, I mean, like I
seem to be on
definitely
the same
chalked some of this up. I think the bath there's oils
It's
and
supposed
stuff
to be,
in there.
maybe,
yeah. And I also think I chalked some of this up to like, oh, look, the bath thing just feels so decadent. So like those scenes, I was just like interpreting that as like that being the information.
It's
like
normal.
yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I actually think this is quite clever. They're like, no, if you were paying attention, it was like a clue, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Always getting moistened up. And this is where we call it like they're fucking terraforming Fillory.
It's an invasion.
It's an invasion, but we don't really know what the point. Like, why just a bunch of mushrooms? So at this point in the scene, we don't really know what's going on. And we're sort of like sitting there chatting, and there's like a little fairy ring.
Yeah, there's like a
little,
red ring of mushrooms. Yeah, in the white, and one of them moves.
kind of like squiggle.
Are these fairy people or mushroom people?
So Margo's like, I'm gonna pull it up.
And Elliot's like, I don't.
And Margo's like, I'm gonna pull it up. And then
okay.
I pull it up,
He's
and
got feet.
it is an egg sac, and there's like very clearly like it's an embryo. It's a fairy embryo. And they
Fembryo.
so it's not just like an invasion of like terraforming. It's like they're growing an army of
Gotcha. On your own
fairies
soil.
on Fillory soil.
Yeah.
It's also why they're changing the ecosystem to make it a better like
For them,
incubation
yeah.
area, and then they're like basically laying a bunch of eggs, which I guess fairies do in this world. It's kind of cool. So we get a cut forward there, but why don't you all do some stuff?
I got 2 left.
All right, I got like a half dozen, so I'll do another. I'm being woken up by somebody kind of in my face saying, "Rise and shine, dipshit."
That's Felicia.
Is it Felicia Day?
No, it's me.
It's you.
Oh.
Wait.
It's a second Quentin. This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them.
there
And
are
he's
2
like
of
sitting
them.
in a chair above me. He's wearing more like dark, like black kind of tones. And I'm like, what? And he's
Emo
like,
Quentin.
and yeah, Emo Quentin says, the real question is, how did you manage to black out after only 5 drinks? Like, why do you always have to embarrass yourself? He's basically like trying to like tear me down, I have the key in my hand,
Okay.
right? And I kind of like put it on the table and stand up, and the fake Quentin like kind of keeps yelling at me or whatever. Key is back in my hand, even though I've like walked away from where I put it. I drop
Okay.
it on the ground. The shipmates are behind me. And I'm like, are you seeing this? And I'm pretty sure they aren't.
Yeah.
And the Emo Quentin's like, nobody cares, dude. They have actual jobs, unlike you,
Is this Dragon Madness?
So I barge into Felicia Day's room, and this is when I'm like, why is this ship gigantic? But anyways, like her room is the size of the entire ship. But anyway, I'm asking kind of like upset in her face, like, what is this key? And she's like, oh, calm down. And I'm like, there's another me, and he's mean, and nobody else can see him.
There's definitely a curse key.
The most
Yeah.
Quentin problem.
Anyway, go on.
So Felicia Day says that the key takes the darkest parts of you and basically makes a depression monster.
Oh, okay.
This is like the content warning episode from so many different like aspects. There's a lot of like self-harm talk in this episode as well, so like
Fair
be
warning.
aware. Yep.
Yeah, because Elliot obviously institutionalized for a lot. So like he's got a lot of depth to that, like what would be that anxiety around what darkness is towards
Yeah.
himself.
Quentin, yeah.
Quentin's character, yeah.
And so like the monster like looks and talks like you, but it can't actually hurt you directly unless it can convince you to hurt yourself,
Oh, okay.
right? And she's just like, well, just pass it along to somebody else. That's what we did.
Her and her
Who
evil.
is we?
Her and her evil twin. Or
No, her and her entire band of shipmates before she got shipwrecked.
Oh.
Wait, so like they were
The
passing
other-
it along to each other, or do they all have a key?
Yeah, so they pass it from person to person until they ran out of options, is what she says.
Okay.
And I'm like, what does that mean? And she's like, well, like, I happen to be holding the key when, like, we hit an iceberg and sank, because the rest of them couldn't handle it. You had to be, like, a badass about it. And what can I say? They were weak. So half of the people that held this key before her died
Got it.
via self-harm.
Okay.
And she's like, oh, don't worry about it. They're all pretty psychologically damaged beforehand. You're all happy and positive, so you have nothing to worry about. And Quentin immediately is like, oh, I'm in trouble. Like, this is a
Yeah.
problem. In the background, obviously, like, the Shadow Man is kind of, like, negging me, and you know, I like yell it to shut up, and then she's like, "Oh, you better pass that along fast."
Girl.
No.
And Quentin's like, "No, like I don't want to just give it to somebody else if there's a coin flip as to whether they kill themselves."
That's
right?
actually very fair.
Good job, Quentin.
Yeah.
So Quentin's like, "I'll hold on to it until we get back to White Spire." And she's like, "Well, we're lost in the abyss now. Could be days, weeks. Like, who knows how long it's going to take to get out of here."
Oh, you're all lost in the abyss.
Just because there's no stars
Direction.
to navigate by.
Sure.
It's just permanent blackness, right? And as I'm like leaving the room kind of in frustration with this whole situation, I kind of get into like emo Quentin's face, and I'm like, "I've come up against you before, asshole. Maybe a little more subtly, but you and I both know that I've got a black belt, so come at me."
It's pretty cool.
Really like how they've written Quentin. I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. He is consistently walking that line if I find him to be pathetic or I love him.
Yes.
And it's perfect. I don't think season 1 was perfect.
No.
Since season 2, it's been perfect.
He's been all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good balance.
Like he's still annoying, but like it makes him almost endearing.
Yes.
More often than not.
Yeah.
Sometimes he is still annoying.
But like it's like, and then he ends up being really sweet, and you like him. It's perfect.
The idea of there is something very heartening about somebody who has dealt with like systemic clinical depression and suicidal tendencies, like going toe to toe with his darkness of himself, saying, "I have a black belt and dealing with your fucking negative thoughts about self-harm." Yeah, it's like, I know how to do this. Like, I spent my life going toe to toe with you, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's almost like has almost like a Lord of the Rings element of like Frodo's the only one who can carry this burden.
Yeah.
100%.
You walked into the wrong fucking house. Okay.
Yeah, do your thing. Why not?
So we are back at the physical kid's cottage. Julia's packing up a bag, and then the fish starts singing "I Will Survive" again. And Julia picks up the key. And one thing to kind of like call out during this conversation, at some point, she like holds her stomach, like stomach pain, like
Julia,
just
Okay.
discomfort. And she's like, "So what's wrong? Like, why did you pop into the fish? What's going on?" And I'm like, "Hey, I'm just saying goodbye." And she's like, "Well, where are you going?" And I'm like, "Away." And she's like, "Is this because of what happened to Katie?" I'm like, "Nope." "Is it because we did the transfer?" "Nope. Just I gotta go." And she's
Weird.
like, "Well, would you like just talk to me for a second?" And I'm like, "Why? We barely know each other. Don't suddenly act like you care just because I'm going." And she's like, "I'm not acting. I care. I don't want to see you go. I don't want to see you give up." And I'm like, "Me give up? You had magic and you gave it away. So what's your plan? You gonna go back to law school, live off your trust fund?" And she says, "No, my plan was to take 5 minutes, try to remember my life was like before a god or a quest or some dead asshole bothering me. And frankly, beyond that, it's none of your business." And I'm like, "Well, because you have nothing beyond that." Alice walks in. Julia hands her the key as she leaves. And she's like, "What's going on?" She's like, "He wants to say goodbye." And so she grabs the key, like, "You're leaving?" And I tell her that I can't do this anymore. I can't be a ghost in my own life. And she's like, what if I make you a new body, like Makovsky did for me?"
Why didn't we start with that?
Why is this not option 1?
I guess the idea is if you can get your own body back, that's ideal.
I feel like this is
that ship
option
sailed,
1 and
right?
2. Like, you'd kind of like,
We didn't
you
burn
plan
it,
for
right?
1, but then you like prep for 2. Just make it. If you could make, if we're just handing out bodies, just make it hot and barely clothed, and we're good.
Make it right and make it tight and give me the body.
Make it right, make it tight, make it right. And that's that scene. And then I have one more scene left, which is definitely the end of the episode.
All right, Quentin, why don't you do some more? We're pretty close to our end.
All
so-
right, I got a bit then.
Yeah, hit some stuff up.
I am I'm basically being berated by emo Quentin again.
Kick your ass,
He's talking
sadness.
about my hair. He's talking about how like I'm aging, prematurely. He's talking about how I probably have early onset Alzheimer's because both of my grandparents had it or something, or two of my whatever. But he's basically like, doing this over, and it turns into a montage of Quentin just being like, "Okay, what can we do?" And I just start like jogging in circles to get exercise. I'm like, overeating, it's like, I'm jogging in circles. He's like, you can't run me off. And then I'm eating. He's like, you can't eat me off. And I'm like drinking heavily. He's like, you can't drink me off either. And then it cuts. And he's like, you can't jerk me off because I'm in bed.
Yeah.
And he's like, we had a thing going, and you had to make it unnecessarily gross. And this is when he starts talking about how like he starts like at the surface level, like, oh, you're going bald, like whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then works its way into kind of the core. So he starts talking about how, like I kind of kept magic from Julia, like back in the day, like I hid the whole break bill stuff from her or whatever. And like that's the reason she got assaulted, right? Like that's kind of what he's trying to kind of worm into my insecurities relatively successfully, right? And he's basically saying like that he's in your head, and he knows that like emo Quentin's in Quentin's head, and Quentin knows that emo Quentin is right because he is him, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just kind of how it is. Immediately kind of cuts to Quentin looking over the edge of the ship into the water, like looking like he's going to jump. There's like a quick little, like subtle, it looks like there's a dragon under the water.
Okay,
like
that's
a
cool.
shadow.
Like either following us or whatever, but like, it looks like if I jump in, I'm just going to get eaten by this gigantic dragon that's face is right under the surface of the water.
Woof.
What's
It's more of a growl than a woof.
Okay.
What's
And-
that phobia of like big things in deep water? Is that trichtophobia or is that the little holes?
I thought that was the holes.
Maybe that's the little
Is it just-
holes. I can't remember what it is.
There is one for
There is
ocean.
one for it. I knew it
I
at one
think it
point.
says something with abyss, maybe actually.
Yeah.
But anyway. go
Anyway,
on.
go ahead.
This is when Benedict stops me.
Map maker, dude. What up, Benny?
And so he says, like, he kind of sees what I'm doing, and he's like, I've thought about it too, though I've never spoken about it, of course. You know what parents teach you about emotions? You bottle them up and never talk about them and turn them into maps, for example.
You funnel those negative emotions into something creative and positive. Yay.
That's one way to phrase it.
yeah.
Not you bottle your emotions and never talk about them.
Yeah, that's a healthy thing, right? You bottom them in a jar, you put that jar on a shelf, and you pray to God that shelf never breaks.
99 bottles of emotions on the wall.
Yeah.
99 bottles of emotions.
You break one down, fuck.
Or crying.
So Quentin's like, okay, this isn't a good plan.
Yeah.
And Benedict like kind of makes some joke about like, oh, when in the old days when sailors would go mad, the crew would like tie him up to the mast. I'm like, oh, good idea, tie me to the mast. And so Benedict ties me to the mast. I tell him, don't untie me until we get to White Spire.
Perfect.
Okay.
The fear of giant things underwater is a specific type of thalassophobia, which is
Lassophobia.
Thalassophobia.
So it's megalohydrothassophobia. It's when you're afraid of big things
I
underwater.
was going to say James Cameronophobia.
I say because I know that that was a thing that plagued me for a long time in my life because I watched Jaws very early and then went deep sea fishing and somebody caught a shark and I just like had this thing where any time I couldn't see the bottom of water, even if it was a pool, refused to get in.
Oh, that's
for
really
like
interesting.
years and years and years and years and years.
I think the pictures are fun because I've never had that.
Yeah.
I always like looking at those big pictures. So I'm like, oh, I can see why that would be scary.
Where it's
I
like a
can
little person,
understand
like,
it.
floating and
yeah,
then a
there's
big
the big thing.
Goliath
Yeah.
underneath.
It's nice to look at those things and go, I don't feel anything. Because then when I look at spiders and I want to crawl into a hole,
You
it's
understand
like,
a
okay,
little bit?
okay, I get it.
Yeah, I get it.
What if the giant thing underwater is a big spider?
Well, then the problem is the spider, not the water. A spider's a spider regardless of the environment.
I got like 3 seats left.
Yeah,
All right, do one more and we'll jump back in.
All right, I'm tied to the mast now, and Felicia Day is back, and she's like, imagine being stuck on a raft with that thing. It's a bitch, right? And she's like, have you tried distracting it? Mine was into seagulls. Wonder if that's because I was into seagulls.
Who's into
I
seagulls?
don't know what that means.
Someone who lives at sea.
Quentin doesn't want to hear it. He's like, just please fuck off. He's like, I really thought you could handle it. And I'm like, this is me handling it. Like, I'm tied to the mast. We're on the way back.
We are handling it.
We are handling it, right? And she's talking about like, okay, when they were on the ship, the first day they passed the key around randomly and it killed 3 of them off on the first day.
Whoa.
She's like, we called it Bloody Tuesday. Some of the other people, it took time to wear them down. And she's basically like offering to take the key off of me for now.
Yeah.
And Quentin's like, I don't trust you not to like pass it around to other ship members, and I need it for the quest, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, basically saying like the keys aren't all bad. Like, you know, obviously this one makes you suffer, but they also help sometimes too with like the keyholes and, you know, and shit like that. And she's like, doesn't really know, you know, hadn't noticed the keyhole part of this, right? But I'm like, well, yeah, it opens like portals to the Earth or the Netherlands or whatever. And she's like, I've been stuck here the whole time and I could have been home. And she like takes the key off of me.
And you're tied up.
Oh, I figured it was a key that had to be given or taken willingly. So
I mean, she took it willingly.
Oh, I guess I guess in the other scene, I just assumed the laws were different because she was like, you should take it, and then you took it. Kind of.
I think the person receiving it has to be willing.
Okay, but the person giving it doesn't necessarily have to be. It seems.
I
like.
guess.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So she runs off with that. I call for Benedict, and I'm like, "Don't untie me." Or no, sorry. I'm like, hey, can you untie me? He's like, no, you told me not to. Like, that was the one rule. It was like, don't untie me till we get to White
No
Spire.
matter what I say.
Which is
that.
like good for him,
Yeah,
right?
honestly,
you know,
yeah.
like this is the right thing to do when somebody's like, don't untie me under any circumstances. And then 1 hour later, untie me, right? And like, well, go get her, right? Like, stop Poppy. Don't let her leave with the key. And so he runs off.
Okay.
All right. Let's jump back over. So we get a little bit of a cut forward after Margo pulls up the egg fungus thing. And I'm like talking to you kind of like quietly, like looking out over the sort of like ocean of what are presumably warrior fairies, or I guess we don't know if it's a caste system kind of deal or not. But so, and we're again, part of that like breaking the third wall where I'm like, you know, we have character and depth and dimension. I'm also saying, I'm like talking quietly to Margo in the background, but like, well, it's like maybe the fairy queen is the big bad. Like actually says the big bad, like very much a Buffy reference coming in the show. I was like, you know, they're scheming.
If you say it out loud, that means it's definitely not true, right?
Probably
I feel
not.
like that is correct.
But he's wondering it now. And like you see Margo in the background while I'm talking, but at some point the camera just sort of like pivots to just like Elliot in a full shot. And I'm like talking to Margo and seemingly myself. I'm like, maybe she's the big bad, you know, they're scheming, they have these like machinations, like what do we need to do? Like how do we like get over this? Like what do we do, Margo?
And
I turn around and I'm like, Margo?
I'm God. And then like coming out from like behind, it's just Margo's like, let's go. I stole them. We got them hostages. Like I pulled up all of like as many of these I could carry. I've got like 6 or 7
just a whole
of them.
armful of fetuses.
And I'm just
embryos.
like, and we're like shoving them into the
carriage.
the carriage, and we're putting the blanket
So
over
you're
it.
just taking child hostages.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. Margo is like, yeah, that's what we're doing.
Honestly, it's the best plan you've had in a while.
I agree.
Hey, sometimes if you're fighting evil, you maybe have to compromise your morality every once in a while. You never know.
Unless they don't care, but I assume they would.
I'm gonna assume they would. It's like, it's kind of strange considering they like wanted a human child, implying that like fertility is not like a particular thing with them. But then they have this giant sea of mushrooms of like fairy.
Yeah.
But the ones that we pulled up were mostly red, which I don't know if those are different than the white ones, because almost all of them are white except for like the ring that we were like sitting around, which is like a ring
that we
of
took
red.
that we took the
Yeah.
babies from.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like an orc versus Urukai, going
That's
back
what
to the
like,
Lord of the Rings
are these
references.
like the fairy queens like eggs specifically because they're a different color?
What color's the main fairy queen?
I mean, they're all just kind of pale.
like just pale white.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we got hostages, and Elliot's like, "What the fuck?" And you're like, "Don't question me!" And you're like throwing a blanket over the top of it. It's like, okay. And then we get back in the carriage, and it's like as soon as we jump back inside, so those can go in the back.
Yeah.
They're not with us in the main carriage area. That's when Stone Prince boy kind of like wakes up, completely non-groggy, weird for poisoning. But you know, he wakes up and he's like, "What happened?" Or no,
well,
we have the little bit
we
of
have a little
yeah,
scene.
Yeah, I skipped that.
So, because we're looking at the sleeping boy, and you're kind of like, you're gonna have to consummate this marriage, and Margo's like, oh, I've got an idea, and I heard about, I can't remember exactly where she said we heard about it from, but
the
basically
three-eyed frogs were Elliot's got the
yes,
note from Princess.
that's right,
They're
the
like
three-eyed
fanged
frogs.
three-eyed frogs.
So Princess is right about one thing. Pull it up. It's a frog with teeth.
A bullfrog.
Oh, yep, with giant eyes. There is an implied
Pudding of
scene here that we don't see. And then
Where do you sexually assault a child?
Yes.
and then we have the kid that wakes up.
Sorry, an unconscious child. Got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wakes up and is like, and we're
He's kind of smiling, like
yeah.
seemed like
he's like, what
everything's
happened?
okay.
And
he's like,
Elliot just
"Ow."
puts his hand out. He's like, "You've had sex. Congratulations. The first time always hurts."
Yep.
And we're now just lying to this child that he finally got to have sex. The marriage is consummated.
Yep. And the reason why his penis hurts is because of this teeth in the vagina.
Yep.
And he's like, what? And
And I'm like, "Do you want to go again?" And he's like, and you're like, "Great." He's been sufficiently scared.
yeah, he looks at Elliot and Elliot's like, sorry, I like to watch. And he's like, what? And then we get the credits.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
What an episode.
Normal excuse. Sorry, I like to watch.
Yep. This is one of the adult episodes of all time.
Yes, absolutely.
We didn't write it.
We didn't write it. We did agree to do a podcast about it.
Yeah.
We did it that.
Should I finish off then, and then you have one more?
See?
All right. Benedict is back,
Okay.
and he says, "I'm sorry, Your Majesty. I'm a terrible failure," and it's obviously implying that like he couldn't stop her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "It's okay. We'll get the key back somehow." No, he has the key. And I'm like, "Whatever it's telling you to do, don't do it."
Oh, no.
And he says, "I'm sorry," and he jumps overboard, and the dragon comes out and says, "Yummy," and swims off.
Oh, so he had the key in his hand,
So he
and
had
now
the key in the
dragon
hand,
is...
and now the dragon ate Benedict and the key.
That's our map maker.
I guess we're going to go to the Dragon Island.
You guess so.
Got to probably dig through a bunch of dragon shit, would be my guess. How you
Well,
solve this?
So
Oh.
Felicia Day's back, and
Okay.
she's like, "I haven't been punched that hard since Burning Man. Where did he go?" And I'm still tied up. And she's like, "Why does it smell like barbecue?" And then it kind of cuts forward, and we're like at the table. And I'm like, "Well, Benedict's dead, and best case scenario, the dragon shits the key out on the bottom of the ocean somewhere."
Oh.
And she's like trying to talk, and I'm like, "I don't really want to hear from you right now." And she's like, "Just one thing, and then I'll never talk to you again. Dragons don't shit." Because remember, she's a dracologist.
Okay.
I'm like, "Oh, cool, great fun fact." And she's like, "No, like nobody knows how it works, but what they ingest ends up elsewhere." They're like, so dragons are like, we've already established in this world, dragons are gatekeepers, right?
Okay.
One of them helped us get to the underworld. She says they don't just make portals; they are portals. So the key is in the underworld.
Oh.
So like everything a dragon like eats basically gets teleported. Like it doesn't have a gut system.
The
It just
underworld
is a
just
portal.
a poop landscape.
Interesting.
Okay. We are back in the cottage for our final scene where Alice has like some like a separated leg bone or something on a table, and she is tutting, and like she says that she's practicing osseous confervium. It's like bone knitting. So she's like magically knitting these bones together.
Why does she have magic?
The Furby.
Oh,
I'm assuming the Furby machine.
gave her just carte blanche magic, not like for that specific spell. Okay.
Yeah.
Magic being gone, they seem like they got bored with the idea that
Yeah,
they don't have magic
immediately.
and they just keep using magic.
Like, what is the? Are we just writing like the West Wing again? What is this?
Yeah.
Is it Game of Thrones Part 2?
Yep. So she's like, it's the first step to building a new body. And she doesn't have the key because she's tutting. And I'm like, hey, I know you can't see me, but thanks for giving a shit about me. And then she like pauses for a moment and like,
Almost like she hears you. You're saying?
no, she like has that same kind of like stomach discomfort
Oh no.
as Julia. And then I'm like, hey, Alice, you okay? And then she falls to the ground
Yeah.
and white stuff coming out of her mouth, kind of almost looking like an OD.
Oh,
Like
okay.
just spitting up white stuff, and Penny is falling apart and like, hey, come on, and I'm like screaming and like saying someone's got to hear this, and I'm trying to get someone to like to catch that she needs help, and I run over to the fish on the wall and jump into it, and the last thing we hear in this episode as it the shot of like the fish singing over Alice's body on the ground is "I will survive," and I assume somewhere this is happening to Julia.
Probably right. Yeah, they both had the same pain, and it's from them trying to do the spell that you warned them could kill them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming all of my yells are going nowhere because somewhere in the house Julia is also collapsed.
Yeah.
So yeah, Alice is not in good shape.
She's had a rough time of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That Alice.
Okay.
Yeah. So you were like, "Oh, Magic's is back." I'm like,
I don't think so.
I don't
Okay.
think so.
So they are doing some consequences for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay.
Ooh, what an episode. Okay. We had
Definitely.
to unpack some
Heavy one.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
We gotta
let's
just keep going,
We're
I
gonna keep
think.
going. But join us Saturday.
Yes.
The 31st at 1 p.m. Central Time, where we can talk about. I mean, Buffy's typically pretty light, and if
Right.
they have to,
Nothing bad happens.
Nothing bad happens, and they do in print media, and they definitely get away with a lot less. So it's probably going to be all happy
Comics
good
Code
times.
Authority still existed, right?
Ooh,
No.
that one I don't know. No.
No.
Okay, fair enough.
No.
Then who knows
Weird.
what we're getting into?
Weird. They just make stew this issue.
Yep.
All right. I'm your host, Mike, signing off. Left me as always.
It's Tasha.
From me as always.
It's Colin.
Right here, right now.
It's Brian.
We'll see you next time.
Bye forever.
For more information, go to popculturerollcall.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Please subscribe, rate, and review. Our new theme provided by Stephen Rossblock. Find him at StephenRossblock.com for more of his work. Join us next week for another episode of Pop Culture Roll Call.